How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy, DJ King A1. It is 6:55 a.m. I do apologize that this is like so early in the morning. But this is just, I guess this is something I had to get off my chest, and you gotta excuse me. This is my little drink to get me together in the morning. Like an energy drink, but it's like more of a shake, working out in the morning, Look like pop, but it's not. It's like a juice. But I'm sorry, y'all, but today I want to talk to y'all right quick about something. And I may be coming, and I'm gonna say this now. I know I'm gonna get some flack. And for the ones that come out with some crazy comments and stuff like that, you will be deleted. Just being honest. Now, long story short, talking to my mother. Now, I said to my mother, I said, you know what? Time for me to get a computer. And, I have a Dell 2-in-1 computer. And actually, it's right behind my phone right now. I'm looking at it. And it's okay, but it's 1 terabyte. And I have a lot of stuff on there. And, it's getting to the point, it's getting slow, sluggish. And I've done all I can do. And I say, but you know what? I can't carry it with me around. I've been stubborn. But now I said, you know what? I got to give me a laptop. So, long story short, y'all, talking to my mother, I showed her this laptop. And I said, what do you think about this laptop? Do you think this is a laptop I should put my money into? She checked it out. She read it. Ooh, excuse me. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Early in the morning. That's that realness. But she looked at it, checked it out. And the one thing, she was like, oh, it got a fingerprint scanner. Oh, it got the backlit. Oh, okay. It's paper thin. It's like the MacBook. She's like, is this the new MacBook? I said, no. And this is an Asus. Or Asus. Hopefully I'm saying it right. ASUS. I do apologize to the company if I am saying it wrong. But, like I said, I showed her the computer. And my mother was like, you know what? She was like, if that's something you want to invest your money in, you should do it. Because it's a great computer. And I do apologize that I'm moving this over because I'm trying to pull up something at the same time. So I can read off this computer. So if anybody want to check this computer out. So, long short, with the story. So, talking to my mother about this situation. And she was like, you know what? She was like, the one thing I hate about Apple product is the fact that it is so high. And I said, and so I know it's getting bright. That's the computer. And I said, you know what? I said, I feel you. And you know what? I don't know what it is, but I call Apple the new Jordan. Apple is the new Jordan. Because if you notice back in the day, like for my generation especially, Jordan, when he used to come out, Jordans used to be like 175, sometimes 150, 140. Then before you know it was 190, 200, 220, sometimes 250. Now sometimes even 500. And with Apple, most of their stuff is between, and let me just be honest, most of their stuff is between 800 and above. It's not, reasonable. And I know a lot of people saying, and I know I'm gonna get this comment of people gonna say, well, just because you don't have the money, don't mean it's not reasonable. See, I have the money. But I'd rather pay for a computer that is reasonable and do way more than what Apple computers does. Now, excuse me, like I said, with the phones, $900 for the phones. The only time you're gonna get a deal on an Apple phone is if it's a older model. And even then, iPhone 6 is like iPhone 6 Plus is finally reasonable now. So you can really get one at a cheaper price. Like a 5 is reasonable. But if you get like a 6S, it's still in a high price. See, the reason I really can't jump down Samsung's neck is because Samsung gives you a variety. When it comes to their tablets, you can get sometimes you can get a tablet for 200, depending on what it is. You can get one for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,000. They give you a space. They say, okay, we see you got this much money, you in this bracket. You know what I'm saying? That's why they got Samsung lights. It'd be like a Samsung Galaxy A light tab or something like that. They have for their phones. You just can't. It's not like how Apple is, where you have to be like, oh well, for me to get a reasonable phone, I gotta get a Samsung Galaxy, S5. You know what I'm saying? Or a Samsung Galaxy, S4 or a Note 4 or Note 3 just to have a. No, they have other phones that's reasonable. So you can say, well, okay, I may not be able to get the Galaxy Note 8 that's coming out, but I can get a Galaxy Note 4 or 5, or I can get this one, and it's reasonable. Like I said, when it comes to Apple, especially their computers, you're going to pay over $1,000. And even to this day, like I go on eBay, and I've noticed that people will sit back and they will have, like the Mac Air, and a lot of them, it'll be like between 400, 500, but it's an issue with the computer. The ones that, don't have issues is $800-900. Why? Because they're trying to sell it so they can get the latest and greatest. See, you sit up here and you buy this brand new Mac computer that you spent over $1,000. And you sit there and you cool, you happy, you like, yeah, I got the latest. I'm good, I'm straight. But then before you know it, 9 months later, maybe a year, or depending on what holiday it is, boom, here they go, conference time. Here's the new Mac, whatever. And then you sitting there, you like, oh man, I want that. I gotta sell this one to get that one, especially with the phones. People like Samsung, and I know I might be biased, but Samsung, I noticed that a lot of the stuff that Apple was coming out with, talking about, look, now you can do this. Samsung is like, I've done that, been there, did that, and some. I'm on to this now. When you get to this, I'll be on something else different. And like I said, I'm not trying to take away from Apple. I'm just saying, Apple is in this big ass bubble. And I'm surprised that they made the Mac, the iPad 2017. I'm surprised they made that at a reasonable price. I'm shocked I'm just keeping it all the way with y'all real. But it's like, y'all, I just don't get it. I just don't get why, they sell these hardwares for this big amount of money. And like I tell anybody, hey, if you got the bread and if you want to do that, you go for it. But when you get that computer and you sit there and you have it, and then before you know it, the newest computer, or you have that phone for maybe a year, maybe 6 months, maybe 8 months, and then before you know it, you got to get the latest and greatest because that one just hit the market. It's like you don't have time to really, you really don't get time to spend and really know that phone and really get to really maneuver that phone. Because before you know, you about to get the newest one because that about to come out. It's crazy. This is the reason why I tell people, me, when it comes to a computer, especially a computer, and the reason I keep saying computers because they are the ones that really cost the most that I've seen. $3,000 for a computer QVC. I was like, whoa. But for that price, like the one I'm going to get, $730. That $730 computer is going to last me for 4, close to 5 years. You feel me? Whereas that MacBook is going to last you if you keep, if and this is the average person that stays up with the trend, and every time it keep coming out, they keep going and getting it and getting it and getting it, it's not going to last you that long. And yeah, they come out with the thinnest and the newest and that, but it's like I said, you spending all that bread for what? Get you a nice, like I tell people, man, the computer that's behind me right now, I've had this computer for about 2 years now, and it's just starting to get a virus. Like it had a virus, and I fixed it, and now it looks like it's trying to come back to life. But it's been 2 years. Touchscreen, Dell, 2-in-1 computer. And it's done everything I've needed and wanted without no issues, except for actually now. You know what I'm saying? But the computer, and I'm trying to find it, because like I said, in my opinion, I think it is a great, here it is. It is the Asus, or hopefully I'm saying that right. It is the Vivobook S15, and I feel like that is, in my opinion, a great computer because it has everything that I'm looking for, and I know I'm going to use that for 5 years. I know I'm going to use it for at least 5 to 4 years, easily. But, like I said, y'all, I know I'm going to get some flack for this. I know whoever checks this out, I know they're going, oh man, he don't know. He ain't know. Look, I know. Because I used to be an Apple head. And yes, I said Apple head because that's what I call anybody that's up on Apple. I call them Apple heads because you sit back and you get, like me, I started with the Apple 4. I had that, didn't like it. I didn't go back to Apple until Apple 6S, and I know that's a big chunk, but I went to the Apple 6, the iPhone 6. I went from the iPhone 6, then I went from the iPhone 6S, and then I sat back, and then I said, you know what? I ain't gonna get no more Apple phones because they too damn much, and every time I get comfortable with it, now it's time to get a new one. They hit me up, so I said I'm gonna get a tablet. Then I got the iPad Pro 9.7. I was happy with it. But guess what? The first day I got it, and I put it in my bag, and I had all my stuff in the bag, it dented. My tablet actually had a dent in the back of it because of me having my stuff in there. So it was like, damn. Now, if I try to sell this, people was going to trip over that little itty bitty dent. And they did. And it's like, now, you got to treat this tablet like it's a Mona Lisa painting. And make sure that it don't get no dents or scratches. And if it do, that whatever price you paid for it, now you got to worry about when I resell it, people going to be like, oh, man, he got a dent in it. I don't want that. Now you gotta lower the price, and like I said, it's too much. It's too much. That's why I tell anybody, get you a good Windows tablet. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not Windows tablet. Get you a good Windows computer. Get you, in my opinion, a Samsung phone. Or if you can't get a Samsung phone, get an Android phone. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not hating on Apple. I'm just hating on the fact that why does it cost so much, and why is it every time you buy one and you get comfortable with it, bam, here come a new one, and then now you gotta scrunch and you gotta do this and shuffle and just to get the new one. It's like with Samsung, they give you that ability to stretch. I had the Note 5. When I had my Note 5, I had my Note 5 for at least about 3 years. 3 years. And then I said, then that's when because I had the iPhone 6, and I got the Note 5. I sat down with that, then I said, all right, let me go get the 6S. And that's how I was, you know what I'm saying? I paced myself, and I was good. But, that's all it is I wanted to talk about. Like I said, once again, I thank anybody that checked this out. Like I said, for anyone that does give any crazy comment or whatever, it will be deleted. Trust you, believe me. But hopefully Apple don't send me nothing crazy. But hopefully Apple, if whoever from Apple, if somebody does check this out, I just want y'all to understand that a lot of y'all products is too high. Even though, yeah, you may put this in it, that in it, guess what? Samsung, and like I said, my biggest pet peeve, I think, with Apple, especially when it comes to their phones, and I know I'm everywhere with Apple, but when it comes to their phones, they sit back, they make this new phone. Like the one thing that I was impressed with is the iPhone 7. Yeah, the iPhone 7, I think, with the dual camera. That impressed me. That and the plus, that impressed me. I was like, yo, I like it. Different. But it's just, you can't sit up like for years. They would sit up here and come out with the phone, and it's like, oh man, I got the newest thing now. It does this. And I'd be like, but Samsung did that a year ago, and now y'all finally getting it. So that was my thing. I'm like, why don't you go to Samsung and see what Samsung is doing now, and then by the time the newest iPhone come out, then you can say, oh, well, I experienced that with Samsung. So why do I gotta worry about Apple? Because they late. And that's what it's been. They've been late. But like I said, I'm gonna stop tripping off of this. I just wanted to talk about this because I just thinking about getting a laptop. Talking to my mother, and we just was discussing Mac and the crazy prices that Apple does have. But once again, if you're trying to, in my opinion, get a great computer or a great laptop, and you don't want to spend you don't want to spend all your lunch money, go ahead, definitely check out, in my opinion, the Asus, hopefully I'm saying that right, the Asus Vivobook S15. In my opinion, I think that is a great laptop, especially that fingerprint scanner. Yo, that sold me right there and there. Once again, thank y'all so much. This is your boy, DJ King A1. I got to get ready, get myself together. I appreciate y'all, and I'll holler at y'all later.